What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid coming at you with another Destiny video. Today we've got a massive Nightfall video. That's right, one Nightfall video, 6 times the rewards. That's right, you're going to see 6 Nightfall rewards for me. This is not a joke at all. It's totally legit, and it makes perfect sense because I did the Nightfall last week, near the end of the week, and I was going to do a Nightfall video yesterday, except for the fact that that big ARG mystery was going on. But who knew that less than 24 hours later, we were going to have an answer to all of that. So that's pretty crazy. We've got answers to all of that. We've got the mystery solved. We've got the image generated. It ended up leading us into a room on the raid, and that led us to the last monitor, which led us to the quest for the exotic pulse rifle. So wow, Destiny community absolutely amazing yet again. Thanks to everybody that was doing all the mining and the scripting and the decoding of all of the scrambled, jumbled symbols and numbers and letters. Thanks to Dado and Math class for going in and finishing up the final portion of the raid with the monitors and the binary conversions. Wow, absolutely crazy. And the quest isn't even done yet. Just because we now know how to do it, there's still a lot of it for the rest of us to go ahead and do. And I definitely want to get on that quest. I want to try to get that exotic pulse rifle this week. I'd love to put out a video on it, but we've got to get it first. So as far as the Nightfall goes, it is the Fallen SABER. At least it's the Fallen SABER now. It initially wasn't the Fallen SABER, it is now, and who knows, by the weekend it might change again, and you might come to this video and say, you know what, I had something completely different for my Nightfall strike. That seems to be how it's been going for the last few weeks. But it's the Fallen SABER right now, and a lot of people hate it because they hate this Warsat section. But I'm showing it right here because it's Devil, myself, and Lion. And Lion is only 348 light. He's only 348 light on a recommended 360 Nightfall strike. So I just want to show you that it is indeed possible to clear out this section even with somebody that is extremely low light level. And the main thing is, you need to clear out the enemies that are in front of the Warsat first. You need to clear out those enemies and then turn around and deal out big damage to the captains and the witches that end up spawning in behind you. Because those are a big deal. So pull out your Gjallarhorns, use all your supers, use everything you can to clear out the witches and the captains that spawn in behind you. And then once you do that, it's only going to be enemies that spawn in front of the Warsat. So it's pretty easy to close out this thing. But it is tricky right in that beginning section because you've got captains and you've got witches and they've got shields and they come up pretty aggressively, so they can really overwhelm you if you let them. But use your heavies liberally, and then right now you can see it's just a cakewalk right now. It's a cakewalk. We've got one whopping enemy spawning in, she's dead, another enemy spawns in from the front, he's gonna die really quickly. It's just pretty easy to close things out. And again, this is with somebody that has a 348 light level. So let's talk about what we've got going on for this Nightfall strike. It is small arms, so your primary weapon is going to deal out a lot of damage, while your special and heavy weapons are going to deal out reduced damage. That's why I'm definitely using that Chaos Dogma from the raid. It's really nice. It's still really nice for boss killing, absolutely. And the other big thing you'll notice is that it has chafe on, so no radar. I don't really recall doing this strike ever with no radar on, and it was a little bit tricky with the final boss. Okay, since small arms is on, this is probably the way that you would expect me to do the boss. You would probably expect me to go ahead in, and I'm going to jump in here. We've got some Titan Bubble, Blessing of Light. I've got my Chaos Dogma on. We've got a critical hit spot on the front of the boss, and you'd expect me to just unload and unload and unload on the boss with that weapon without ever having to reload. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But you know what? That's for the noobs. If you want to be a pro Destiny Nightfaller, you've only got one answer for bosses, and that's Gjallarhorn. Get in my Nightfall with Gjallarhorn or get out, nerds. Also, just wanted to say, the Shank teleported absolutely every single time in the beginning. Absolutely every single time he just teleported right away, and he threw me for a loop every single time. So don't be surprised if you jump in there and the Shank ends up teleporting on you and you're like, whoa, I didn't expect that. You should have watched this video first, because I was going to tell you, he teleported every single time. But this is the real way that Year 1 Destiny players kill bosses. This is the way that we kill bosses. If you're a pro, if you're a vet, this is how you do it, absolutely. And even if you're a noob, or you just started with the Taken King, you've got a Gjallarhorn now. So go ahead, pull it out, kill bosses this way, Everybody will think you've been playing Destiny forever. They'll think you're just a pro, an absolute beast at Destiny, that you've been playing since you were born with Destiny in the Gjallarhorn, and it's the best way to go about doing absolutely everything. It's so good. It's so much fun. Man, I miss this thing. I miss this weapon so much. And yes, also there is airborne on, so if you fire out your Gjallarhorn rocket, jump in the air and let those Wolfpack rounds deal out increased damage by jumping up in the air. A good time had by all. Try to remember that we have chafe on, so you're not going to be able to see the enemies, so you could get surrounded or swarmed or snuck up on by an exploding shank like I just was, and that's a bad thing. That's a really bad thing. I've got enough armor, I was able to survive it. You might not if you're a lower light level or if you don't play with high enough armor. So just be very, very wary on that. And of course, with this boss, near the end of his life cycle, the sniper shanks spawn into 4 locations up at the top. They are your #1 priority to kill. Absolutely kill them. Here they are right there. There's one, the other one's, oh, I just missed them, but somebody took him down. And then we've got 2 more over on this side. Kill those things because otherwise they will snipe you, they will kill you, and you will miss out on killing the boss. Once that's done though, it's all about going back to the Saber and melting Frank the Shank before he can do anything else. He's really a cakewalk right around this stage. Very, very easy to go ahead and deal with. And of course, you've got the mighty Gjallarhorn at your side, and there he goes. So Frank the Shank is down. The Saber Strike is done. The Nightfall is done. I didn't get any skeleton keys. We did get an exotic Ingram there. But before we get to these rewards, we've got to go back to last week. So we're getting into a time capsule right now. We're getting into a time capsule, and we're beating the Wretched Eye Strike. And here we go. We've got to get that final little bit of damage out on the boss. Well, I'm just being a distraction for the ogre. He's just a maniac right there. And the boss is down. I'm swapping out my gear to my highest light level for whenever I get to the end screen. And we can see that I actually did end up picking up an exotic Ingram here. Just making sure I've got my highest light. And there we go. So we got an exotic primary Ingram here. We got exotic leg Ingrams before. And we're going to see what we end up getting for all 3 of our strikes on the Wretched Eye. So pretty cool. We're going to start off with 3 Wretched Eye Nightfall rewards. Again, no skeleton keys at all last week. No skeleton keys at all. So if they're like the strike specific loot where you got an increased chance on the Nightfalls, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it through 6 Nightfall strikes just yet. As far as our loot from last week goes, we are starting off with some exotics. Devil's picking up exactly where he left off. He got an exotic 376 Glasshouse. I got some 381 gloves, and Mike got some 371 helmets. So not bad, 381 gloves, that's going to help. That is absolutely going to help. And moving on to my Titan, who is not allowed into Fellwinter's Peak. I've done 0 story missions on him at all. I've done nothing in the Rise of Iron. He's not allowed in Fellwinter's Peak, but he did the Nightfall, and he got 11 3 of coins. And Mike got 11 3 of coins. And Devil got strange coins. And finally, for our last characters for the Wretched Eye Nightfall, we end up going in with the Warlock, and let's see what we end up finishing. I need a ghost so bad. Okay, no ghosts, but all exotics. We've got the Celestial Nighthawk, a 381 last word, and an Invective. 381 last word. But man, I needed a ghost so bad last week. My ghost, 369, and you can see my light level is 377. My ghost is so low. I desperately need one of those lucky, rare Nightfall ghosts. Please give it to me. Here we are this week. This is the Fallen SABER Nightfall. And for starters, well, this looks a little bit familiar. A 381 last word. That's pretty familiar. Some 3 of coins and a 380 chess piece for Devil's Titan. So we're starting off like we kind of ended. Moving on to our second character. For our hunter, again, we've got one wish to boost our light levels, and we got it! I knew one day if I was good and I said my prayers and I ate my vitamins that I would get a ghost shell, a 381 ghost shell. There you go. Everybody else is excited because they got exotics. I'm pumped up because I actually got a ghost shell. Yes, 381 ghost. Boom, my light level is going to go over 380, and that's going to be absolutely amazing. 385, here we come. Let's get it on. But before we get it on, we've got to finish up with our Titan. Again, the poor Titan that cannot even go into Fellwinter's Peak. He did the Nightfall, and he ended up getting himself a helmet, which is 381, so not too bad. 380 and 381 light level gear. The Nightfall, it is 100% relevant again. Please, if you can get in the Nightfall, do it. It's irrelevant. It drops you good gear. It drops you higher light level gear. You're going to want to do it. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your Nightfall, and I'll see you around in Destiny. I got a ghost. Oh yeah.